Oh.
Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey, honey, what's up?
Now we can go. Now we can go. Sorry, I clicked it and it didn't immediately pop up, so I clicked it again and it cut it out. So
that's the second time you did that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, are you jumping the gun?
Yeah. I'm just getting impatient.
Hey,
I guess.
so what do you need?
Oh, you're not muted, bro.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Will,
What up?
what's up? Nope.
He's not plugged in yet. He's bumbling around his microphone as we speak.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. We said what's up, and you didn't answer, man. Goodness gracious, you left us hanging.
What's up?
What's up? There we go. All right, we're good. I knew Will would show up. I mean, Boobs. Yeah, that's he'll be there. He'll be there anyway. All right. Anyway, I had a discussion the other day in the GC chat where most of my best discussions happen, and somebody was just mentioning. It's like, oh, okay. Somebody's like doing a stream where they're talking about, oh, this person ticked me off, or this person's coming after me, So that's here we go. There's another outrage stream. Okay, and over here, it's like some chick is like doing that downward angle with her cam, and she's got like a big audience. And is this all we got? Is this all we are? Outraging boobs, and so I was like, hey. That's a really good topic for discussion,
Well, let me just start off by saying I am never outraged when I see boobs.
Okay, all right. Well, that fixes
I'm totally outraged. Totally.
Yeah, there you go. Well, what about you, Morpheus?
Shadowpunk's outraged because he's never seen boobs in real life.
I don't even know what those are. What are you talking about?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a celebrity with us today, Morpheus from the Matrix movies. What's up, man?
Right.
All right.
He's talking to you, Aaron.
I think I am. He's kind of like doing the whole ghosting me here. All right, whatever.
I'm missing one boob.
Maybe he's looking at boobs. Okay, don't look at the reflection in the glasses. There you go. All right, it's going to get me struck. Anyway, well, I think it would be cooler if we didn't hear your cat Loki clawing you up before we get the stream. Where is he? Is he around?
He's on the bed.
Oh, okay. All right. That cat's lurking. Yeah. Well, we may see.
All right, I'm back.
All right. What's up, man? What about outrageous boobs? Well, I don't know. I guess that works.
Why the word outrageous?
Well,
when boobs are on a dude that thinks he's a chick.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. That's
okay. That's where the outrage comes from. Okay. I get it.
All right. Unless you're Blair White, that particular individual really bothers me on a deep level. Anyway.
Ow! That wife's got you conflicted, huh, Bunny?
I know it's a dude, but
it's okay. I've been there too.
That's what they call prison sex.
Bunny. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, well, the gay for the stay? No.
It's called
what?
There's a
gay for the stay.
There's a thing in prison where some inmates will say, oh, "I'm just gay for the stay." No,
right.
You're gay.
Right. Well, it's like I said in Shawshank Redemption. If you got to fight every time, because if you don't fight every time, you have to look yourself in the mirror. That's a very lovely book. I recommend it for your teenagers. Anyway.
Right.
All right. Anyway, thank you for the topic of discussion. This is good stuff. But yeah, as Eric pointed out, that there is actually some assets that are also sell really well. So yeah, that's a good point. Anyway, but I also think that this one of the problems we have as comic book producers is that everything was slanted so far adult during the Image boom that after the Image boom went bust, there was no next generation picking up comic books anymore. You know what I'm saying? And now we're all a bunch of middle-aged people with a industry that's aged out and didn't work on the next generation, and so they all went manga and Scholastic, So,
Yeah, you're talking about me.
I want to pull back to the boob thing for a second.
uh-huh.
On my Twitter, I just got flagged for sensitive for retweeting the tweet for this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says you've been flagged for sensitive content.
Insensitive content. Saying boobs.
Flag my nut.
Yeah, Elon needs to fix that. Anyway, hold on a second. I just had to leave a stream where some lady said a Lethal Weapon wasn't a Christmas movie. I hated that to report that channel, but steps had to be taken. Amen, brother. Fight the power. Die Hard Lethal Weapon is definitely a Christmas movie. Definitely. So is Die Hard.
Oh, they're both Christmas movies? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. They're both Christmas movies, man.
Oh,
And Gremlins.
Yep, Gremlins.
There you go. Gremlins is my favorite Christmas movie. Yeah.
Anyway,
if you don't find that scene with Phoebe Cates talking about her dad dying as he goes down the chimney, that's just hilarity right there, man.
okay, if we're gonna talk Phoebe Cates and boobs on the same show,
Okay.
She's the greatest ever, right? I mean, let's face it.
Right. You think there's a VHS tape of Fast Times at Ridgemont High that's in circulation anywhere that doesn't have lines when it gets to the pool scene?
Absolutely. I mean, she's just gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what she looks like now, but she was she wasn't like model gorgeous. She had model gorgeous, and she had some other thing.
Right.
She was the girl next door pretty.
Yeah.
But she was the girl next door pretty, and she was a 9.5.
Yeah,
right?
It's like Melody Griffith said in The Working Girl. I've got a face for business and a body for sin.
Yeah, I mean.
So there you go.
She's it, man. She was. I mean, I don't know how many guys wouldn't come to that opinion, especially when you put her next to Jennifer Jason Leigh, who's okay. She's whatever. She's okay. Yeah. But it just makes Phoebe look even better.
Right. Didn't you do the carrot thing? Was that the same movie? Jennifer Jason Leigh trying to do the carrot. Yeah. Okay.
I forgot about that time she said, "Hey, watch me make a carrot disappear." Hey, if we're gonna have sensitive content, we're gonna have sensitive content.
Well, actually, my number 5 Hangout 2.0 got is been age restricted because Pixel Trader came on and showed off Mermaid's boobs.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. I was like, why is this age restricted? And I was scanning through, and it was oh, it was Mermaid, and I was like, oh, that's why it's age restricted.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun book.
Yeah. You drawing it, aren't you, Eric?
Yeah, I'm drawing it. I haven't got approval from Pixel yet because I haven't really submitted anything, but I'm trying to go for a more painterly, artsy look to it.
Oh, okay.
Kind of ink wash, and we want to do red highlight, so black and white interiors that look like they're ink washes with her hair being bright red and stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It should be a beautiful piece when we're done with it.
Sounds like it.
Cool.
And a little salacious. Amber Turd is trending again. Today is a good day. Yeah. Oh my God! Thank goodness I have my coffee. Ha ha ha! Ray, hey Luck, what's up, dude? Hey Michael T. Yep. Yep. Everybody. All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much. You definitely got to leave the ginger hair in, man. I mean, gingers are just going away the dodo, evidently. So. Yeah, and media.
Hollywood likes murdering them and replacing them with other boxes to be checked.
Well, see, there's this chick that they're replacing a lot with. She was like the Flag Smasher and the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And
yeah, she's the bad type of ginger.
Yeah, she just popped up in Willow, and she's black, but she's got ginger hair, and she's really pale. And so
she's biracial, yeah. I'll buy one of them.
Right. And she's like replacing a lot of the gingers, I guess. But she's just not attractive. I mean, and she can't act worth a crap. I think Critical Drinker calls her a ginger plank, a wood.
Oh, I can see her now.
So she went to the same acting school as Brie Larson, then, huh?
And Zendaya.
Yeah, Zendaya.
So this woman with the freckles, that's the Flag Smasher?
Yeah, right.
That does not work. I'm sorry.
No.
I call bullshit.
Yeah. Someday all gingers will be avenged. Yes, we will have our day. We will have our day anyway. But yeah, I mean, she showed up in like Willow and everything, and it's just like I don't know. They're trying to make this chick happen, kind of like they did Hannah John Kamen. Is her name? She played the ghost in like that Ant-Man Wasp, which turned out to be Wasp and Ant-Man. Anyway,
I don't talk about that.
Right.
I would prefer the original Ghost.
Right. Yeah, he was kind of a badass. He was a techno mage, and they just made it into this thing. But she was like in this show called Killjoys, and I kind of like the other two cast members, and so I would like watch it for them, and then like fast forward it through her scenes. And she has like one look, and it's like this little half smirk. That's all she's got. I swear. Anytime you watch her act, she's got blank face and that little half smirk. That's all she's got. And they have been putting this chick in everything, and she's just.
Is it like this?
No, that's it. That's the one. That's the one.
I'm making millions.
It's because they told her she could act in porn, so she thought she was great.
I guess. I don't know. But she ain't got a body either, so that doesn't make sense either.
I mean, neither does Zendaya, and she's getting all the roles.
I know.
Well, the Hollywood casting couch didn't go away. They just hid it in a different building. So
yeah.
If you can suck the chrome up a trailer hitch, you got yourself a job.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, the whole thing about that is that people complain like how horrible that casting couch is, and I think it's not a good idea. Okay,
No.
But you have to admit
to
yourself as a human being that there are women by the dozens that will go, "Where the heck is that couch?"
Exactly.
Point me in a direction. I mean, when you look at
Very
Epstein
sad, but it's
and you
true.
think how much squirrel he nailed over the years just trying to get roles. I mean, as ugly as Epstein is, and how much squirrel did he nail over the years trying to get roles? I mean, goodness gracious.
Epstein.
But the top
Weinstein?
outrage and Boobs sell.
Weinstein, because Epstein like kidnap people.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. No doubt about that, but it does wear thin after short wire substance must back up the opposing side. Okay. And let's get stuff out. All right. What's up? I don't know. I mean, I guess at the same time, you gotta explain how somebody as completely, totally passionless and psychopathic as Amber Heard made it into the industry, and I mean, you gotta have an explanation with somebody that's
she was back in the day. She was pretty hot.
She's pretty hot, but
like a turd.
That
96.5 degrees that's pretty hot.
Well, she proves the crazy hot matrix. I assume everybody's seen that video, right?
Yeah, definitely. She does peg. Was it the top left corner or something like that? I don't know. Mr. Johnny Depp did have a kind of problem with, that you're picking the wrong women over the years.
As far as I'm concerned, he gets what he deserves because
he
should know better than that, and he doesn't know better than that because he's not a sober guy, and that's his problem. And he doesn't. By the way, it's not a problem because he's fully loaded. So it's not really a problem. It's just a thing to deal with for 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean, people that where their functionality really fuels their lifestyle, they kind of have to be sober. But somebody like him that can just show up, stumble through the door, and do the role like and to get paid millions. I mean, I guess he's pretty much doesn't have to get sober ever. You know?
It's almost like I think like in the back in the day, the kings and monarchs, they would have that kind of problem, right? It's like for normal people, it could destroy your life, but for him, it's something to sign off on in the morning.
I mean, Henry VIII was living his best life. I mean,
right, exactly. He's a perfect example.
Shit! Who's the GQ model with the shave? So there you go. It's got.
Oh, you're talking about Shadow Punk? Yeah.
What's that?
Hojo's evidently into you, Aaron. What can I say?
It's okay. We got cool books coming out.
You do. That trailer is going to debut on Belmont's birthday bash, which will be on the 29th. So that's coming up. So keep your eyes out for that. But anyway, so is there like any alternatives that work? Okay, that formula, boobs and outrage, or other body parts and outrage. Is there something else that's going to work? I mean, is that all we got?
I mean, that's the lowest denominator is usually pretty powerful, right?
He'll call me Mark. That's up,
hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, for my perspective, I went and I did I was at a toy show in August. It was at PowerCon in Ohio, and I brought Dinosaur Man out. I had my prototype of the action figure. I had the plush doll back there, and the kids went crazy for it.
Right.
I had dads with little boys asking me when they can buy it, when they can buy the comic, when they can buy the figure, and it was a real eye opener. I was like, for up until kind of that point, I was doing a lot of this for myself. This is the stuff that I want to do, and I'm like, wait a minute. There's nothing for young boys anymore. Young boys don't have, an Optimus Prime or a Lion-O. If they have an absentee father, there's nothing on Saturday mornings to fill that void anymore. So I kind of pivoted a little bit, and I started a children's book, kind of the young readers type, like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid or that Dogman Comics type vernacular. So I'm going to start Dinosaur Man's story earlier on there and make something that addresses their demographic so that they can kind of graduate with Dinosaur Man as they grow up. So that's kind of been how I'm pivoting my property a little bit. And that's a very big underserved market is stuff that's for the kids. I think a lot of us who are these
young boys in particular.
Young
girls have their pick.
Let's focus on young boys because for us, we're a bunch of 45-year-old children that never really grew up in some way. But we can't make things for us now. We've got to broaden that out. And so I think that's the direction to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think my comic, I probably skew probably the oldest that should probably read my book is probably early teenager. I deliberately left to the a lot of place. It's a little complicated plot wise for anybody younger than that. But I think I got kind of a nice little balance there. There's a decapitation in one of the first one of the scenes, but it is what it is.
Over the
as
years,
long as you show that in shadow, it could be a cool thing.
That what do they call that? The level of that kind of stuff is crept into all comics.
Yeah,
where you can't really get out of the way of, you can't avoid it because you want to be at a certain level. And is it good or bad? I would say it's. Yeah. I mean, it's like the Bill Cosby thing, right? Can you tell a joke without swearing?
Right, and not direct people on the side, to have sex with them.
With that too, but
anyway,
that's a perk. Leave it alone.
I'm sorry. There you go.
Speaking of crazy shit, does anybody here know what's going on? What the real story is with David Williams and Gabe and Mike Miller?
No, I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, I think Mike Miller is kind of a secondary thing. It kind of came in late. I think Mike Miller's like sticking his nose in the situation.
Right. He just wants to be relevant.
Yeah, I don't think he really has anything to do with it. I think he's like he's pushing it to kind of like stick one to EVS, which is pretty much his primary goal about everything he does. But I think.
Is that the guy that said, "Meet me at a convention"?
No, I think that's Mark Brooks.
Okay, yeah.
A couple of you don't even have boobs, for shame. I got boobs. All right.
Yeah, so do I. I've been trying to get rid of them for years.
Anyway. All right, but okay. As far as I can tell, I've never been a LTE fan. I'm not. I think he came through the door with a sense of, here I am, love me, because he did the Newsmax thing and called out CG. But he had first thing out through the door, he had 3,000 subs on his YouTube. I mean, he never really fought or never had to fight for anything in this space. Went straight to CG Kings, and he's on the reason why I disliked him is because he got on a Graham Nolan show and started badmouthing the writers, said we don't need writers. Writers, we don't need writers at all.
Damn.
That's weird.
In between talking about this really great comic that they did for sick kids, that where they took sick kids up to the watchtower, They talk about, I get told all the time how people love that book. And I was like, you're the colorist on that book, dude. People love the writing on that book, dumbass, but it is what it is. Anyway, So he announced at that time he was doing a comic. And he didn't even have a script, okay? He's bragging about not even having a script. Oh, I hadn't sat down yet and decided what I want to do, okay? But the big thing, his big selling point was truth, justice, and the American way. And when they took it out of the comic books, he's like, I left comics because they took that out. But then he takes that and tries to make a comic book out of it, Truth, Justice, and American Way. And his big selling point was, it wasn't like a story. I still don't know what the story of the book's supposed to be about. It's just like Truth, Justice, American Way. There's 3 book or characters that look like famous comic book characters,
Trinity.
Right. It looked like the Trinity. And I don't, outside of that, nobody even knows anything really. But all he was like is Dave Williams is going to draw this book, okay, and I'm going to color it. And so that was the big selling point. And I think Kyle Ritter was supposed to, no, he was coloring. I'm sorry, he was coloring, but that's all anybody really knew. Is all anybody ever really knew. It went over 6 figures just with that information. But then Dave Williams says, who was also doing, I think he's the primary artist on Bass Reeves for Allegiance Arts. Okay. Which is a good book. It's about a really incredible character. If you've never heard of Bass Reeves, you need to look him up. He's one of the baddest asses that's ever walked around the West. Okay. Legend.
Say he had one of the baddest asses you've ever seen?
No, he's a badass. He's a complete, total badass. Okay. Anyway.
It's all in the inflection.
I'm sorry. I anyway, just look him up. Okay. He's the bassist for Lone Ranger, and he's a black man, and he was in the West, and he was, he used it. He used that shit. Okay. I said, don't understand. Oh, put him up. He's do stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, look him up. He's really brilliant. But anyway, so he's the primary artist on that book. And
I see it.
For what I understand, Gabe got a big boost from being the colorist on ISOM. It's like, I'm the colorist on ISOM, and people are like, oh, okay, well, let's throw money your way too. So that's how they got over six figures. What's that?
I was waiting to see, what a bunch of people that I knew were going to read that book and how it was, and I go, if it's any good, I can always order a copy. But I didn't want to I didn't want to spend $50 on a book where most of them are like $25. And then the general consensus was, well, the backup story was good.
There's a backup story?
Yeah, there's a backup story.
Yeah.
All right, Mo Biggs is giving me the shit over here, and like Mo Biggs does. I've never been a fan of the gay LGBTQ. Bass Reeves, one of the baddest asses. All right, whatever, bro, whatever, man.
Hail Mo!
I swear, you make one mistake and Mo just jumps right in. Anyway, that's what he does. That's what he does. He's a mofo.
So
He's a mofo.
What's the deal then? Why did David have to stop working on the book?
He said he had some family issues that he's going to have to back out. He's going to have to back down from some projects he was committed to, and he chose to do the Bass Reeves book because he loves that book, and he co-writes it, and he's got like a big stake in it, so he decided in favor of Bass Reeves. He was going to back off of Truth, Justice, the American Way, and next thing you know, Gabe goes scorched earth, trying to destroy the man's career. Because he's never been told no. Okay. Whatever. But so that's what he's trying to do, destroy David Williams' career. Now he's trying to say, oh, I'll just draw it myself. I'm better than Dave Williams. And people have seen some of his work and are like, no, you're not. Anyway,
well, I'll say this. I've known David Williams, his work, for a long time. And I think he's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sure Gabe is amazing at what he does too, but you're like learning two different things, right? I mean, ramping up to get as good as David Williams is challenging.
Well, to be honest, I've, even my personal feelings aside, I've never really liked Gabe's work. I've always thought his coloring is pedestrian. I mean, I got Mika from Barbusco Studios on my book, and she kicks his ass all over the place. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I've always thought he's a little flat. But that's just me. I mean, that's just me. It's my preference. I mean, when I did a review of what's the name? Aaron Lopresti's book, The Wraith of God. I was like, I just wish the coloring was a little better. And I was like, oh shit, I gave LTE did the coloring. Really? Yeah, he did the coloring on it. But it is what it is. I mean, it's preferences. Everybody has preferences.
That is true.
You may love his work. I mean, absolutely adore his work, but and Gabe actually colored Bass Reeves.
Okay.
That's one of the things he's colored. So. Anyway, so that's probably how he and Dave Williams hooked up, was probably off of Bass Reeves. But so anyway, that big breakup happened, I guess. But if he would have just said, okay, that's fine, man, let's go our separate ways. I understand totally. People have family issues, but he decided to get butthurt and he decided to try to torch him. And Dave Williams has got a better name in the community than Gabe does. So he played chicken and he lost. So that's pretty much what happened.
Can I point something out though? I mean, if Gabe is making a book and he wants to he has a schedule to get it done, you know, and we all know other artists and producers and writers have dealt with this too.
Yeah.
Right. And so did David change the contract in a way and left Gabe in the lurch a little bit?
I don't know. I don't know enough about that situation to be able to tell you one way or another. But if he was contractually locked into that book, not that then Gabe will be going after him into courts, or you know, but he's going after him on social media, which seems to indicate it was a handshake agreement.
It probably was, I'm sure.
So, and that's something unenforceable. So it's
Gabe has turned into his favorite snack.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Anyway.
Well, the Mike Miller thing, I remember seeing it, and I'm thinking, what? I mean, this is so bizarre. And I think what you guys said is right. Mike's way of staying relevant. He's already established himself as the anti-EVS a long time ago, so he has nothing to lose by being as.
I like to call him controlled opposition because Mike's not smart enough to be the anti-EVS. EVS basically uses him, moves him around, and uses him for outrage to sell his books, basically.
So are they're old buddies, right? I mean, maybe they behind the scenes go. He's like, yeah, just do it. Be the anti-EVS. Have fun. Do whatever you do is fine.
He's
if there was a kayfabe behind it, I would support that more.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. The thing about it is about Mike, and I kind of figured this out early on. Mike is a meddling talent. Okay. He's like the guy you get if you want to finish out a run or something like that, and you don't really want to make an impact. And
really?
And yeah, I've never seen anything from Mike Miller that's blown my hair back. You know, and it's just the bottom line. You know, I got the Lone Stars up to the one. I don't even know if I got the third one. But
third one has not shipped yet.
Yeah, it's not shipped yet. And what was it? How many years old? Late? 3 years?
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah, plenty. But the reason why I'll never back Mike Miller again is because he took his kid's book and burned it into the, you know, burned it in the fireplace. Yeah. He got pissed that EVS took his kid's Cyber Frog and burned it in the fireplace, and EVS was sick about it. That's the most down I've ever seen EVS. He's like, don't take the kid's book, you know. Because he's guilty about it, but he's got autistic kid, and he burned his book in the. And you hear the kid in the background losing his shit over it too. Well, and I'm like, I'll never back that guy again. I'll never back him again.
I'm looking at his Mike's artwork right now.
Yeah,
just to look it up. It's pretty good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but you hear the tone in your voice. It's pretty good. But it's not good.
It's okay.
It's good. So that's what I'm saying.
That's not what I mean.
It's serviceable. It's just serviceable. You know.
What do you mean?
What's that?
No, I was asking the Shadow Punk what he meant.
Well, what I meant is, yeah, you're right. It isn't like he's not John Byrne or he's not George Perez. I'll give you that much, right? But you know, he's not that, right? He's not Frank Miller. But I see him as a very competent, well-drawing guy.
Okay.
And to me, when I as an artist myself, when I see that in other artists, I go, "That's pretty cool. I like that." Right. Right. But you know, there's also a thing where this is maybe what you're alluding to, is every artist has their own style, regardless of dress.
He doesn't have a style.
Yeah, you're right. He has a style, but it's not that impressionable, right? No. It's just a well-crafted, well-drawn. Maybe that's why he doesn't get you, you know.
Right. Well, Mo, we're just saying that Miller's not really involved, except he got himself involved. He made himself involved. You know, he's kind of like stoking the fire, but he's not really directly involved as far as we can tell. Will got the collector's box, had to do them last. It's almost 8 pounds. So watch when you lift that thing, Will. When your wife lifts it. I'm sorry, when your wife lifts it. Anyway, I started talking about the guy on Bass Reeves. Yeah, we're talking about that situation. Satapunk wanted to talk about it, so that's what we're talking about. But now we're talking about Smiller. Okay. Well,
maybe Mike's just bored because the shitty JPEG market floundered.
Oh, really? Yeah, the NFT thing. He really dived into that. Did he make any money off of the? Or did he like lose his shirt on the Bitcoin bust?
Well, I mean, it's at 16,000, so it just depends on where you got in and
right
if you sell to a loss or not.
Yeah.
It's like anything else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he's trolling on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I'm on the periphery of all of this. If anybody heard something I said that was not true or right, be sure. I mean, go ahead and correct me, because I admit that I am not very well versed on this whole thing. Except, screw Gabe LT. That's pretty much been my attitude for a while now. So, so I might be a little biased, but anyway, it is what it is.
It is a weird thing. You're right too, because it is for a lot of us who we all started in the comic book business. We kind of see someone like that who gets a instant walk-in. And you're like, yeah, pretty cool stuff. I saw it. I did think that his book looked pretty well put together. But I'm thinking, that must be nice to walk in and have.
Can you tell me what the book's about?
I have no idea. I didn't get it.
Well, I looked at his campaign, and there's absolutely no plot points or anything.
Really?
It's just all character stuff. It's all like character, images and things like that. And
wow.
I'm like, oh, gee, I guess writing doesn't matter, does it, man?
It is true. You make a good point.
But the fact that he said he bragged about that in November, and then he had a campaign ready for February, and people are like, oh, have you seen this campaign? It's amazing. And I look at it, it's all like, oh, okay, well, he's got a bunch of figures, roaming around, Oh, thank you for clearing us up, Bo. It's about truth, justice, and the American way. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, those platitudes just explain everything. All right. Anyway.
That's how we got 300. That's how we got 3,000 subs off the bat, because the whole bro group there was all, hey, he just lost his job at DC.
Right.
Go sub to his YouTube channel. Next thing you know, you have guys with 10,000 or more subs on their channels, pushing to go to his channel.
Yeah. Well, he did that one video. He did that one video like, why I left DC. And I think that's where most of his subs came from.
Yeah, you were asked to leave. That's why.
So can I make a point here that might back you up?
Go ahead.
So I'm looking at his Indiegogo page for the actual comic that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, his stretch goals at 50,000, he has a set of 3 trading cards.
Oh,
at 60,000, you have a corner box, basically looks like it says corner box sticker, and then at 70,000, it's a full color mini print, and so forth and so on. So I'm like,
right.
I mean, a lot of us are putting that stuff in at like 3,000. 4,000, right? I mean, it must be nice to be the king, right?
Yeah, seriously. Does it say anything on that page about what the book's actually about?
It does, yeah. I was quickly scanning it, and I can give you a quick synopsis.
Oh, please.
So these Truth, Justice, and the American Way, I think that's the name of each character.
Right.
And they're in this world, and all of a sudden, there's some kind of like devastating attack, and somehow they get accused of being involved in this, and so Truth, Justice, and the American Way are on the run in the book.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of a cool premise. I mean, he might be making his own kind of commentary about how he got booted out, how he left DC or whatever. I'm serious. It's not so bad. It's pretty good. I mean,
and
David's artwork is pretty cool, I will say.
Yeah. Well,
I think the judgment's going to be on whether or not he actually fulfills it on time. That type of thing. Because look, as you guys have made the point, he basically was basically was a low-level colorist for DC Comics. Never had to run or operate a business in his life. Suddenly he gets the Kingmaker's blessing. Has a huge campaign. Gets another big, good, high-paying job with ISOM. So he's in a situation he never grew into.
Right.
So I think that's going to be the tail of the tape.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a band that gets signed right out of the garage and gets like put in stadiums, and then they have a like a meltdown because they're not ready for that. You know, they didn't do the bars, they didn't do the small venues, they didn't, you know, eat shit with 12 people there and played the houses that were practically empty and pour their heart and soul into it. And then they suddenly get these big venues and then they can't hold together cohesively as a band, you know. They break up like less than a year. That happens a lot, you know. But I think it's kind of similar to that. Let me see. For a guy who doesn't care about writing, he sure writes a lot of emails about his book, spamming my inbox. It's like Bo Biggs has an inbox. Evidently, he does. Wow. Okay, he didn't even have a pop socket. Okay. Yes, you need an email account to back books, Joe. Oh, okay. I didn't back that book, but I signed up for the mailing list in case I decided to. Right. And it doesn't look too bad to me. All right, Woke Breaker. I hear you, man. It's like he's deep undercover, Joe. He's probably top secret. All right, Mo Biggs, emails. Okay. All right.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll make a prediction.
Okay.
That I don't think that Gabe is going to have a problem finishing the book, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Eric's point's a really good one because that is a big factor in growing into an artist that can get things done, right? Well, and you're right. He had the endorsement of the Kingmaker, and but I'll tell you what, he's also a pro. The coloring is no problem for him. He knows how to do it with no problem. Right. So I'm gonna make a prediction that he will have no problem.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not making any prediction as far as quality because you might be right, Bunny. He might have his statement might come back to haunt him. Yeah.
Well, I think it will. Let's see. No one can hide from Mrs. G. Mrs. Good Stuff. No, probably not. Well, the thing about it is the same thing happened with ISOM, okay? We all sat there and predicted the exact problems that ISOM was going to have. We knew exactly what the issues were going to be as soon as we saw that he was like doing the writing on his first book, and he had, you know, with no editor except for a copy editor, and we know because you have to shovel shit as a writer. You have to do it. You know, you have to start from the bottom. You have to learn how to do this stuff. You have to learn to crawl before you can walk. And some of these people think that they can just come out of the womb and walk. And no, you know, it takes a while to learn how to juggle characters. It takes a while to learn how to have a plot that's coherent. Okay. And so when ISOM came out, we knew exactly what the issues were going to be because he was a brand new writer, and he was like, "Oh, I can write this because anybody can write," you know.
Did he say that though? Did he actually say that?
Well, he was like hanging out with EVS, and that's EVS is pretty much you know, entire philosophy of life.
EVS. Who?
So anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, if he had any kind of value, if he had any attachment to value to writing, then he would have got a writer, but he didn't. But then
that's not really true.
He got Chuck Dixon afterwards when he realized he was in over his head. He got Chuck Dixon. So.
I honestly wouldn't know that. Because you can get like another writer for like different things, and I just saw one of his recent videos where he was talking about he's doing like multiple things at one time, and he already had like the next Isom book coming out, and he's always working on something else.
Okay.
So
Dixon's writing a script for another book or something that he put.
Yeah, pretty much. He had like Item number 2 and 2 more titles that he's working on.
Oh, okay. So he's writing them.
I wouldn't know. All I heard was all he said was that he was working on them.
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll grow. He'll grow into it.
Here's a question though, too. Okay, let's just say because he has his own show, right? Eric has his own. So let's just say for the next 10 years, Eric, or whatever, 5 years, he comes up with issue number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the quality is, let's just make up a number. Let's say it's a 5 out of 10. Okay, which I don't think it is. I think it's probably better than that, but I'm trying to make my point. So I think in the formula for selling comic books, if you are a personality like that, you can sell a shitload of comics and have a medium book and still make a shitload of money, right? And I bet you that's his bare minimum formula, right? Before hiring Chuck Dixon,
and it was mid, but you have to understand, with the millions of people that follow him and watch his shows. I mean, he's a contributor over on Glenn Beck's
The Blaze,
on the Blaze, and he's been around so long. He's got regular social media followers. He's got his YouTube followers. He's got people that follow him from, having the heavy metal band and everything. And these people are buying his book. I guarantee that like 70% of those people, they might flip through it to look at the pretty pictures, but they're not going to read the book because they're not interested in comic books.
Totally.
Right.
But they're going to buy it because he's putting it out and they want to support him.
But my point
it's basically a Patreon. They look at it as like a Patreon or GoFundMe.
Well, but my point to Bunny is the fact that if Eric's formula makes him $1 million a book, hypothetically, and he does like 5 or 6 or 7 of them, do we see a downside here? Because I don't.
Yeah. Well, I guess as a purist of the art form and somebody who wants to see comics advance and basically not lose any more ground, it for me it's their drawback is that people who are like, hey, I've been out of comics in a while. Hey, this is a comic. Let me check it out. And then, this is modern comics. This is not as good as I remember from Chris Claremont. So, I guess I'm out of comics again,
It's a lost opportunity is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying if he had knocked it out of the park, he could have helped Western comics. And yet, it's more people are going to manga, I mean, if that's what Western comics is, I might as well stick with manga, What's that?
Don't mention the M word with Mo Biggs in the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mo. I'm sorry.
He's gonna put you. He's gonna put you on a weeb trial.
Well, Mo's probably gone by now. Mo doesn't stay in my chats longer than 10 minutes. I bore him, so he's got bigger fish to fry, bigger channels to torture. I haven't seen him comment in 2 minutes. That means he's gone. So
there he is.
Nope, he's still there.
Oh wow! I stand corrected.
When you see 3 dots, he's fucking pissed.
I stand corrected. Oh my gosh! Hold on a second. Let me see. Bring back comic book classic like Toggle Biddies. Just kidding. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I guess Mo's still there. Okay. He's probably mad because I said I talked about the M word, so I apologize.
He does not like manga. Is that the thing?
No, he's not a fan. Not a fan.
I'll tell you what. I see the draw of it, but the way they draw the faces, cartoony. I'm done. I'm not even gonna bother. It looks so stupid. I'm sorry.
So we're prostrating ourselves, Mo. There you go. All right. Anyway, Mo, the only thing Mo hates worse than manga is weebs. He is.
What's that?
That's a digital comic only, people.
I see.
Not a big fan.
No. A weeb is a manga fan. Is an anime and manga fan. That's what a weeb is.
Right.
Okay. I meet the
thought
criteria for a weeb, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. My apologies. I wasn't sure about that. Major industry comics has lost cause, in my opinion. Self-published book like the ones crowdfunding. Indie titles have found their way into stores, still have a lot of promise potential. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, Shadowpunk, that's one of my main issues too. They can draw stuff that looks pretty cool, but man, they never learn to draw faces.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
with the big googly eyes.
Right.
What kills me is how is like the Cal Arts shit. Obviously they took that manga. They're trying to do that manga style, but they're doing it so poorly. It's ridiculous. It's like a skewing way far in the other direction.
Manga traces its origins back to being influenced by Walt Disney.
Right.
Really?
Like Astro Boy and some of those early ones.
Yeah.
They were directly influenced by Walt Disney. They were huge fans of Disney over there during Reconstruction after World War II, when we were basically putting the country we bombed back together again. They became really engrossed with American culture, and at the time, that's what was emerging. And so, manga took from that and became its own thing in their culture.
Right. That's why there's such a mixed bag of when you come to way their stories are. Indie titles from small cap publishers are pretty good. Image, Skybound, Synergy put out some good books. Currently, there's a few books that managed to make it onto my pull list. Okay, gotcha. Well, think about if you look at the like topics that they always, it seems like they like put stuff into a pop culture Cuisinart and then they poured it out, like what was that, sword art online? What the hell is that? It does. Then you get to the manga or the anime, and it's nothing like the title. What is the big one? My Hero Academia. What the hell is that?
My Hero Academia, it follows the actual original manga pretty closely. That's something that they've been doing right with modern anime and manga.
That manga anime pairing is just brilliant. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant.
My Hero Academia is doing superheroes better than we have in the States since probably the Silver Age.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. All right.
Right now, I think they're kind of following in the American industry's footsteps because they're rushing the shit out of the final arc.
Oh, okay. Right.
I mean, T-Bunny, you earlier you were talking about how important it is for writers. Have you actually read any manga or watched any anime?
Yeah, well, I did watch. I was back in the day. I did watch Robotech Macross Saga. But that was a mishmash of 3 different animes from Japan that they kind of put together and redubbed. I'm talking about the actual core stuff. You should give it a try because story is so important over there. Concepts the story concepts matter. These kids that I see at the anime shows that I do, they love these characters with a deep personal love that nobody. Like we just reminisce about when we liked Spider-Man and Superman and Batman, but this is currently happening here where these characters are cared about by the people consuming their content. Yeah. And to brush manga off as well, we don't like it because it's not American comics, essentially, is to ignore that fact. And that's a whole storytelling industry that's doing what we want ours to do. Right.
Definitely.
Okay. I stand. I've been admonished. All right. I've been admonished. Okay.
Watch the first season of My Hero Academia and then come back and tell us what you think. Give it a try.
All right. Okay. Okay. I did watch the 7 Deadly Sins for a while. I have to admit.
I mean,
it was a little odd. It was a little odd, to be honest.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't. You guys probably wouldn't call it anime, but
I think My Hero Academia would be more your style because it's very much more domesticated into the superhero culture that we have here now.
Yeah. Well, I did like the Lion's Sin of Pride.
Escanor. Yeah.
Escanor,
I like the Escanor. The way they ended him though was just like ridiculous. And then nobody referenced him after. I'm like, this dude just gave his life for you, and you guys aren't even talking about him. Well, screw you guys. So I stopped watching after that. But yeah, he was bad. I like Escanor. Plus the mustache was awesome.
Yeah.
You just don't see mustaches in pop culture anymore. All right. Anyway, I grew up on Tom Selleck. What can I say? And they always have their teeth and jaw cleansed like they're constipated. Suck it, weebs. We got a weeb war here. Come on now. Anyway, at this point, T-Bone is thinking maybe Mo has a point about weebs. I think Disney eyes thought they're big, so we could do them twice as big. All right, I got you. All right. They always have to oversell it. Looks like we're having a war here. Anyway, it's like F that. Watch season 6. Okay. All right.
Oh, my.
Yeah, My Hero Academia.
The current season is grueling. It's wonderful.
What's this thing called that you guys are talking about?
My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Okay.
But T-Bunny made it pretty far in 7 Deadly Sins. Yeah, I made it all the way to the end, man. Well, I have a wrench here. You have no time to time me out on a different channel. Yeah, I've wrenched Nefarious, man. I've wrenched him, man. You're just gonna have to deal with the lack of authority there. Anyway, that's okay. All right. I try to be open minded, so I'll give it a look. Yeah, you have my word. I'll come back and let you know how I think. But who knows? Maybe I'll do that live. I don't know. So that might be something.
That would be fun. Yeah.
I'm gonna say right now, it looks pretty cartoony.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like cartoony. I mean, I love the Rankin Bass stuff, man. I was a big fan of that stuff. My favorite version of Lord of the Rings was the Rankin Bass Lord of the Rings.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think it's ever. I don't think you've ever done better than Rankin Bass Lord of the Rings.
No.
Yeah, I had like the little 6-inch. You remember they did the book with the record in it?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. I had the Lord of the Rings one, man. And I was singing. I would go around the house singing, "Where there's a whip, there's a way." And my mom's like, "What the hell did you get that from?"
Those are great songs, man.
Oh man, yeah, you better believe it.
I remember as a kid, I remember seeing the album with the riders on it,
right,
for the movie, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why isn't there like a real movie?" Right? I mean, for my whole life, I was like, "Where is this movie? Why is it so difficult?" Right? And my heart yearned for it. And then the Jackson one, I remember going when I first watched it, I was like, "What did I just watch?" Right? Because I'm like, that didn't match my vision, right? Which it isn't gonna, but
no. Yeah, let's see. Nefarious, to say the least, and he says justice delayed is not denied. Yeah. On another channel, he's gonna time you out on another channel just for
he's
that.
He's got time out on his own channel.
All right, I like Rankin Bass Hobbit. Most of this manga is rank ass. Okay. All right. Rankin Bass was cool. Yeah. Let me see. There's a lot to be said for different aesthetics, even in manga, but there is dynamicism to the sequential art. It's something artists can incorporate into Western styles. The one that I really want to get a hold of, that everybody speaks of, when this guy died, when Mura died, to see when I see the outpouring of just absolute sorrow that he wouldn't be able to finish it, I was like, maybe I need to check this one out. I've seen some of the stills of the images, and there's a reason why he was so slow going. I mean, he just cross-hatched the shit out of it, man. I mean, there's like nothing lost on those pages, man. The guy I really mourn, because I used to watch his draw channels, and he was just such a laid-back dude. Super Annie draw channel. I forgot the guy's name, but he just passed away. What was his name? He did mostly European. He didn't do I don't know that he did manga, but he Dan Fraga turned me on to him. But he would basically draw everything. He didn't draw guidelines. He would just draw it onto the page and ink it as he went.
Yep.
Everything he started at the inks, and you see him like it would look random. He would look like he's doing a line here, line here, and then it turned out to be the gables of a building or something like that. And he just like it came straight from his head down onto the page, and it was just a miraculous thing. But he didn't speak a lick of English, so he had a translator to speak for him, and he talk as he goes. He just recently passed away. That's but anyway, so they're still going over here. We started something over here. My goodness.
Oh yeah, it's great.
All right. Same for stories. Characters have a lot of emotional resonance. Writers can learn a lot from some of the writing out there. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I got you. I'm always willing to learn. If you wish Harry Potter was the star of every season, you will love most animes. Okay. Well, I was a big Harry Potter fan back in the day. I admit it. Yeah,
Harry Potter is just Star Wars with shitty lightsabers.
Harry Potter.
Right. Berserk was cut by most other manga more than just art. Kentaro said he had to take time off writing between chapters because it hurt his soul to tell the story. Damn. That's
deep. A selling point.
Deep. Yeah, poor Derek Clay going too soon. When he get timed out, what the hell? Anyway, the person who is taking over for Kentaro said that he's using his notebooks, and that there's nothing going to happen from here on out that wasn't written down by Kentaro. So evidently he wrote out the rest of the arc before he passed away.
That's good.
So I don't know who's going to draw it though.
Well, manga artists work with teams. You have the head mangaka, and then usually there's a large team, and so the head guy will do most of the plotting, primary characters, and you have tertiary artists who will do backgrounds, tones, and such. So the guy taking over was his number 2.
Oh, okay. So if you're going to have anybody take it over, that's the guy you want to take it over. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, it's going to take them a while to produce that, but it'd be interesting to see if they land it. If they land it, it'll be one of the greatest publishing coups of all time. Because most of the time when somebody else takes over a person that passed away prematurely, the work just goes,
Or the expectations are just never going to match
the expectations are just too big, most of the time. But sometimes it happens in music where somebody takes over for like a vocalist or somebody, and they manage to hold their own.
That's a good point.
But for the sake of the art, I hope they manage it. The only man worthy to finish Berserk is B-Rose. All right, B-Rose. Oh,
so what's his book about?
What's up, dude? I don't know. I ask him; he'll read it to you off a card.
I don't think he really knows.
He doesn't know. I've seen like I saw 3 different streams, and he said the exact same thing. All 3 streams when he was talking.
It looks great.
Yeah.
The pages look pretty cool.
He should be working PR for Eric July.
Oh, there you go. Or Gabe LTU. There you go. Anyway, full circle.
Right.
Okay. Not Gabe, but $20 is $20.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Neff taught me that.
I swear you say that every single show, man.
I got a T-shirt that says that hanging in the closet. It doesn't want to come out.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say you're a cheap date. Will. You're a cheap date, Will. That's all I gotta say. Anyway. No, at least held out for 100. My gosh, man. So, Beaver's book is about 2 brothers. That's all I could retain.
the artwork is really cool. The artwork that he's got going on there is pretty cool.
Yeah, I hear you. But I mean, I'm sure he's involved with the writing as much as he's involved with his own channel being built. That's all I'll say to that. Yeah. Anyway,
I have no comment on that.
Guys, I'm gonna have to step out. My wife's almost home with dinner. So
all right, go get the real boobs, man. We'll see you later, man.
Oh.
All right.
Take care.
He's never coming on my show again. Anyway, it is what it is.
You dissed all the manga, bro. He's never coming.
I know. I just think as far as that Bobig's damn. Nobody knows what that book's about anyway. He made some money off of it though. It is what it is. I was trying to tell Eric Nanatowski enough of my book to get for us to decide what to do with the cover. And I was just like paragraph after paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. I was like, okay, I need to back off of this because he's gonna be overwhelmed. But that's the thing, if you really if you write your own book, the problem if you truly write your own book, the only problem you have is like whittling down how much you can say or I mean, I hear people all the time like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to push my book. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm like, did you write the thing? Because if you wrote the thing, you would know. Your problem would be like whittling it down to knowing what you can say and what you can't say.
that's true, but there's also another facet, which is the ability to put things into small sentences and make that concise. That's a skill that not everybody has.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because I hear some people. Go ahead.
I've gotten quite a few people that have come on the show, and usually my interview style is basically I'm going to ask you a question and hope you run with it. Otherwise, I got to come up with a follow-up question. And it keeps it relaxed and chill. Aaron knows he's been in the hot seat. But I've had a handful of people that are the nondescript one-word answer people.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, well, it's been 20 minutes. We got to go now. Thanks for coming on the show.
I'll tell you what. I've been on shows where the host is like that. And they're like, one guy was like, well, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does go ahead mean? Right? I mean, I can bloviate as much as the next person about my shit, but I mean, it's funner when you pull it out of me, right? Yeah. And there's like this discussion about it, and they're like, everybody's different, and everybody has their own kind of like Bunny asked a lot of writing questions, right? If I start talking to you about how I'm physically making the book, you're like, that's interesting, but and everybody's different, right?
Well, I think I ask a lot about the art and stuff like that. But
you do, but
I do primarily focus on the writing. I agree to that. When you're a carpenter, everything you need a hammer for everything. Will is joy to talk to. He's hard to stop talking.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
It's also a skill a lot of people think they have.
Well, I'll say this. There's a lot of people that would benefit greatly from the ability to be concise. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
Because,
before we get in more trouble, maybe we should just end, put an end on the show anyway. All right. No problem, guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you, the fluffiest chat on all YouTube, for showing up today and hanging out with us. I don't know that we got anything answered or hammered out. I think Outrage and Boobs do sell books at a higher rate than most anything else. It just is what it is, We're dealing with a lot of angry, horny males, and so Outrage and Boobs pretty much is their selling points. So
I'm totally against it. I'm against it.
Occasionally an asset or two thrown in, like Eric.
If you haven't figured it out yet, if everybody's for boobs in their books, I'm totally against it. And if everybody's boobs in their book, I'm totally.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, Shadow Punk.
Totally does.
He wasn't breastfed as a child. So,
I was not, and now I'm resentful. And I resent the group. no matter what the group is.
Somebody didn't work in a titty bar for 30 years, and Shadow Punk it shows.
Right. Well, you got somebody like Fowler. Fowler's worked in titty bars, and he's ready to see every titty that's coming out there. So there you go. Yeah.
Wow.
So Howe, who will be on the Shawzilla Art Show tonight at 9 p.m.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Like and subscribe so we can watch him eat sushi for 400. Yeah. He was a Dixie Rose. Was the titty bar he worked in. Held the panel, held the chat. That comic book was based off the titty bar that he worked in. He was a bouncer for.
That's pretty cool.
What happened to the dream?
I don't know. He just
prices went up.
Yeah, he actually sold that comic book in that titty bar. He had the ladies like do kisses and signings on it because the chicks in the book are actually actual strippers in that bar.
Cool.
So yeah,
free herpes with every book.
And the funny thing about it was his protagonist looks exactly like him, and he's like, I just asked him for a middle-aged guy with a mustache and glasses, and that's what he gave me. He's like, I didn't know he was going to look like me, and I was like, well, Fowler, you kind of look like a middle-aged guy with mustache and glasses, man. So you look like them all anyway. All right, that's been Cooper from Telepathic Buddy Comics. I was here with Eric Hodson. Just had to leave earlier. Morpheus from the Matrix movies. Over here, Will from Creators Outlet, and also Joker Fan on Twitter. And Shadow Punk, everywhere Shadow Punk. And we will see you next time, guys. You have a good afternoon. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Tell me what's on your mind.